All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are going to look at how to take your English from pretty good to, really good. We're going to tackle some of those common little mistakes that can trip you up at the B1 level.
So, have you ever had that moment you say something in English and you just get this feeling, this little voice in your head that goes, that wasn't quite right. The meaning was probably clear, but it just didn't sound like a native speaker.
Well, guess what? You are definitely not alone. That feeling is a totally normal part of learning. So today, let's fix some of these tricky little spots together. It's time to level up your fluency.
Okay, first up, the classic. This one causes so much confusion for so many people. It's the ultimate battle, make versus do. Let's finally get this sorted out.
The main difference is actually pretty simple when you break it down. You make something when you're creating it, producing something new that wasn't there before. But you do something when you're just performing an action or like checking a task off a list.
What really helps, I think, is just learning the common phrases, the collocations. Think about it, right? You create a mistake. You produce a decision. You generate progress. But honestly, the biggest one to remember is this. You always make a mistake.
And then on the flip side, you've got do. See how these are all about action? They're about completing something. You perform your homework. You complete the research. You carry out the shopping. These are all tasks.
So there's a really easy way to remember it. Just think of make as being creative. You're making something new from scratch. And think of do as a duty. You're completing a task that already exists. Creative versus duty. Simple, right? Awesome. Okay, let's move on to our next common hurdle. I kind of like to call this one dressing your naked nouns. And that's because in English, singular nouns just hate being left all alone. We're talking about articles, of course. A, an, and the.
So listen to this sentence for a second. I found watch in drawer. How does that sound to you? Now, I know for speakers of a lot of other languages, this sentence structure is perfectly fine. But in English, well, it just immediately sounds like something's missing.
And here's why. The correct version is, I found a watch in the drawer. See? So much better. Those tiny little words, a and the, they're like clothes for your nouns. They just complete the picture.
So here it is. This is the rule you have to remember. Let's call it the golden rule of English nouns. A singular, countable noun, so one you can count, it just cannot be naked. It's got to have a determiner, like a, the, my, or this, right in front of it.
So when do you use a or an? Well, it's pretty straightforward. You use it when you bring something up for the very first time, or when you're talking about just one out of many possible things. And of course, when you say what someone's job is, like she's a teacher.
And what about the? Well, you use the when you mention that same thing a second time, because now we both know exactly which one you mean. You also use it when it's just obvious, like could you close the door? Or when there's only one of it in the whole world, like the sun or the moon.
All right, let's get into a problem that, let's be honest, can confuse even native speakers sometimes. We're going to master AM and PM and figure out the logic of that tricky 12-hour clock. This right here is where all the confusion happens. Just look at this transition. It's 11:59 a.m., still morning, and then just 1 minute later, bam, it's 12 p.m. It suddenly switches to p.m. So what's going on? It's really simple. 12 p.m. is noon. That's the middle of the day. It's the start of the post-meridium, which just means after midday. Here's a trick. Think of the P in PM as being for post-meal, like after lunch.
And then you have the other tricky spot. You're at the very end of the day, 11:59 p.m., and 1 minute later, it becomes 12 a.m. Now, this isn't the end of the night. It's actually the very, very beginning of the next day.
So yeah, just remember, 12 a.m. is midnight. It's the start of a brand new day. And another little memory trick, think of the A in AM. A new day arrives. Okay, so we've fixed some common grammar mistakes. That's awesome. Now, let's switch gears and be a bit more proactive. Let's talk about moving from good words to really great words. It's time for a vocabulary upgrade. Let's look at a couple examples. So, instead of saying something is in bad condition, you could try saying it's in poor condition or that it's worn out. Instead of just saying a big store, get more specific. Was it a department store or maybe one of those huge superstores? Being precise makes you sound much more fluent.
Oh, and the word nice? It's probably the most overused word in English. It's fine, but it's a little weak. Was the weather just nice, or was it pleasant? Was the movie enjoyable? Was the person attractive? And with old, think about what you really mean. Is it vintage and cool? Is it secondhand? Or is it just outdated?
And here is a big one. We all say a lot of things. It's so vague. So let's try to replace it. If you're talking about what's in your bag, you could say numerous items or various belongings. It just sounds so much better, doesn't it?
So let's do a quick recap of our B1 level up. First, remember to make a mistake, never do one. Second, always dress your singular nouns with an article like a or the. Third, noon is 12 p.m., midnight is 12 a.m. And finally, start actively looking for ways to upgrade those simple words like nice and big.
And that brings us to your mission, should you choose to accept it. It's not just about watching this, it's about putting it into practice. So I have a question for you. What simple word will you try to upgrade today? Think of one and start using its more powerful replacement right away. You can totally do this.